And there's a drive. Deep right field. It is gone! The hit that makes history is a two-run home run.
I'll tell you what I got. Check this out.
All right.
The baseline. Hey, yo, shut it down.
Check. Is this thing live?
Oh, it is. We are live. Wednesday,
Wow.
March 19th, 2025. What's going on, Vinny?
Another day closer. Almost
8
as 8 days. Yep. Tomorrow, when everybody's listening to this, it'll be exactly a week from tomorrow.
Yep. However, we have had some MLB games started, though.
That is true.
Yeah.
So it's opening day, but it's opening day. It started, but for everybody else, it starts at a different time. I'm cool with it though. The Tokyo series is pretty sweet, and we'll be able to talk about that here in a little bit. You know what else happened on this day though? Is back in 2019, Mike Trout was able to sign that extension with the Angels. You remember that? The 12-year, 420.
Oh, 26. Yeah.
That's time flies, but hey, maybe we'll get to see him all season this year. Also, happy birthday to Vlad Guerrero Jr. and a couple other stars out there. It's Rowdy Tellez's birthday.
Okay.
And Hesop Troy. Legend.
Shout out.
Yeah. But yeah, a special day. Was able to watch some spring training games today, so that was pretty nice. Everybody's getting pumped for season. What people aren't pumped for, though, is injuries, because we're still having them. Good news, Jung-Ho Lee, he did get hurt. He had some back problems, I believe, and he had some MRIs, or an MRI completed recently, and it showed that there was no structural damage. So Jung-Ho Lee, he only played 37 games last year. So I don't know. I mean, to see him already getting a little bit banged up before season, it kind of sucks, because he was a pretty big deal coming into the league last year from overseas. So he is expected to be back by the end of the week, though.
Yeah,
and also, go ahead.
Sorry, I remember you had him on fantasy last year. That's what I was.
Yeah, I drafted him. Yeah, I was expecting him to. I was like, yes, I got him for a good price, and I was like, he's my steal this week, or this draft. Yeah. I'm so pumped for draft, by the way. We got about a week for ours. Also, don't know the complete news on Mr. Max Scherzer, but I think he was dealing with some wrist injuries. It's expected with Max Scherzer. He is up there in age, but still hope to see him at some point this season. Did you hear anything on timeline for him? I wasn't quite sure. I think it was maybe a day-to-day thing, or he was going to get some imaging done, or.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't read too much into it, but apparently whatever is kind of going on, it's been something that apparently he's been dealing with for a while. He's kind of been able to pitch through some of it. I want to say maybe since 2023, he's been kind of dealing with some wrist soreness. Right. I believe it was wrist. So it's pretty unfortunate, because you don't know, at his stage of his career, how that's gonna end up for him. I've been in the league a long time, and I've loved watching him pitch, and I hope this kind of isn't, the beginning of the end.
Yeah, I agree. I always hope he would be a Cardinal, but at this point, with his injuries, he's on his way out, unfortunately. But he showed us a good time, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Did you want to move on to our Tokyo series next? Not too many big injuries this week. A lot of them are the biggest ones we covered over last episode, being Royce Lewis, one of the biggest. He's still kind of a mystery, and looks like he'll be expected to be on the IL to start the season. Yeah,
I believe so.
That's a bummer. But go ahead and start us off with that first game of the Tokyo series.
Right. And I'm not sure about you. I wasn't able to watch a ton. The last games 1 and 2, I was able to watch a little bit before going into work. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the whole thing. But game 1, Dodgers ended up winning 4-1. Shota Imanaga actually pitched pretty well. He went 4 innings, no hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts. He did walk 4 on 69 pitches. I believe 4 walks are his career high, which is pretty good, for a career high. So, Yamamoto, that was a heck of a matchup for the first game of the season. So he also pitched pretty well. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 4 strikeouts, and 1 walk on 72 pitches. Some other, sideline notes. Miguel Amaya drove in the first run of the season, while Dansby Swanson had our first hit of the season. So a couple of things from that. But yeah, Dodgers ended up taking that one 4-1. Did you have anything from game 1?
Yeah, I was able to catch it. Not the whole game. I think I tuned in maybe around the 5th or 6th inning. I was just watching it as I was getting ready for work. I thought both pitchers looked excellent. Being the first game of the season too, playing in Tokyo, and it being a big deal for many. It's such a cool series, but no, they both looked excellent. I think some of the Cubs fans were a little upset about pulling Shota after 4 innings. Just how, he was on fire. I think he had 4 walks, but still, he looked excellent out there. I expect to see him and Yamamoto doing that all season. No, that was pretty cool. Did you see the Pokemon intro?
Sort of. I didn't get to see the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Pokemon fan. I was when I was a kid. Had some books somewhere. My dad said that he didn't give them away, but I know he gave them away, or probably like big money. But no, I was catching it, and they had a Pokemon intro before the game. And if you're a Pokemon fan, I'm sure it was everything if you're a Pokemon and baseball fan. But no, a good win by the Dodgers, of course, to come out of the World Series champions and start their season off with the win. I'd expect to see that all season long for them. Scooting on over to game 2, another win for the Dodgers, 6-3. Sasaki went 3 innings with 1 hit, 1 earned run, 5 walks, and 3 Ks. So the walk rate was a little bit high, but I'm sure the nerves going through him were off the charts. He's a young cat. He's only like 22, 23. So yeah, I think the walks will probably settle down eventually, but yeah, he looked amazing out there. And then Steele was able to go 4 innings. He had 5 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, and 5 Ks. So his Ks were there. His walk rate was good, but he did let up 5 runs. Didn't get to catch all of the runs that came in on his side. I don't know if there was what kind of play. Like I said, I only caught the last inning, but I know that Tommy Edman was able to hit the first home run of the season. Former Cardinal. I think you have that shirt, right? Tommy Edman is my best friend.
Yeah, I do.
You still rocking that?
Oh, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yep. Shout out Jack Nolan's, Soulard.
Jack Nolan's, yeah. Good burgers over there.
Yep.
I'll have to get that next time I'm back in town.
Yeah.
And then Kike Hernandez homered, and then of course the one and only Shohei Ohtani sent it deep. I believe you had something to say about the robbery. I did miss Shohei Ohtani's home run. I saw the replay, but I know that there was some fan interference possibly on that.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen the Ohtani home run hit to right center field, it did look like there was some fan interference. It was still ruled a home run, however. Yeah, a lot of people pretty upset because it did look like fan interference, to be fair. Now, with the Dodgers playing the Cubs, I still wasn't too upset about the call, but putting bias aside, it definitely looked like fan interference. But maybe they're thinking, hey, Ohtani, in Japan, Tokyo series.
Yeah,
You know what I
no,
mean.
yeah, and it's Otani's first home run of the year, so some of these people, they they want to do is go see Ohtani play baseball. So I get the excitement. I mean, it does. I feel like eventually there's going to be something done for the whole fan interference thing. I don't know if it's going to be some type of netting or what. I don't know. I have a feeling like down the line it'll go that way because we think back on games for a long time now. It's been some big decision maker. Think about the Cubs. Uh, what's the buddy's name that?
Steve Bartman.
Yeah.
Poor
Sorry,
guy.
man. Sorry for listening to this, man. Don't mean to bring it back up again.
Yeah, at least they won a
Yeah.
World Series though after
Yeah,
long
but
after
I don't
that.
know. Otani's gonna do it anyway, so he's gonna
Yeah.
hit. Who knows how many he'll hit this season? He might just focus on hitting and not even stealing as much. He might hit 60 to 70 home runs this year. I think
Maybe.
first one calling.
You
I'm gonna
never
put my
know.
bet in now.
How many home runs he hitting this year?
I'm gonna say he's gonna go 60, 63.
63. I'm gonna go
Wait, he went.
57.
What did he go last season? 55.
50, 54,
Around
55 in
there.
that range. Yeah, I think around there. Might
Yeah,
have been
and
a
he's
little less, but
coming off a year off surgery too. Oh
see.
yeah, he's geez, yeah, in his prime. Yeah, I got that bet down. I'm gonna go ahead and bet on that after this episode here.
All right.
What
63, I got 57.
all right. What do you got next for us?
Well,
And
couple things.
unless you had anything else on that Tokyo series?
Yeah, a couple things. Yeah, like you said, the home runs hit. One thing I wanted to share about Sasaki, kind of like you said, the nerves may have been gotten to him. I mean, it's kind of cool that his major league debut is back in Japan, and
Yeah.
got his MLB
Nice.
debut patch. I think those are really
Nice.
cool. So
That's sweet.
I believe with these, after the game, they're taken off and then put with their card,
Correct.
if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So yeah,
Yeah,
that'll be, who knows, Vin, you might get that.
that's
Yeah.
that's kind of what drew me to starting to buy a box every now and then, just because of the debut patches. Obviously, Skeen's card went for over $1 million, or was able to get that much out of an auction. I don't know if it was ever sold or not. I believe it was sold, but I know it was worth over $1 million, which is insane. And a card like that, there's going to be some big buyers out there. Any of those, Ellie De La Cruz, Yamamoto. Obviously, Ohtani wasn't able. They didn't have the debut patches for his rookie season, but I can only imagine that would probably more than Skeens went. Yeah, I'll probably be buying some more packs, I guess. Trying to get my shot on that.
Yeah. No kidding.
I love the
And,
idea though that Topps does that.
yeah. Yeah. I think it's awesome. And then your guy, Matt Shaw, first big league hit.
I did see that.
Yep. Infield single off Jack Dreyer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he looked pretty solid out there. He even made a really nice diving play. And I don't think it was a double play. I think he just threw him out at first, but I remember seeing him dive and I was like, whoa, I didn't even realize it was Shaw at first over there at third base. I'm excited about him.
Yeah,
he's definitely going to be on the Queen City Bandits fantasy team.
Oh yeah,
draft it now. Drafting him.
All right.
You know who else I'm drafting?
Who's that?
Jack Caglione.
Oh well, I mean, he was. I'm not gonna lie, he's on my list, so looks like we're gonna be battling for that one.
A few of these guys actually were sent down to start the season. Jack Aguilera being one of them. He'll be starting the season at AAA. If I'm correct, not AA, right? I believe I read AAA.
I think it is double A
Oh,
actually.
is it AA? Okay,
I
you
think
may.
so.
Yeah, I didn't get the stats. I expected him to start at AAA.
Yeah, me too.
I thought there was maybe a minor chance that he made opening day roster, but I expect them to keep him down there a little longer. Probably at some point this second half of the season, maybe he could fly right up through AAA or going through AA and dominate at the AAA level, which is expected. But yeah, he's had a monster spring and don't expect anything different working his way up. Also, Kobe Mayo, he'll be starting the season at AAA. Kind of a bummer. I thought this would maybe be the spring to where he, got that opportunity to have a starting position with the Orioles. They traded some of their guys away, Connor Norby and Stowers, and they even lost Corbin Burns. So I don't know. I expected them to make room. I mean, he's obviously dominated AAA for a long time now. And whenever I went to that spring training game, I think he just got one opportunity to hit, and he went 1-for-1, of course. So kind of confused on him. I get it that they do have quite a bit of people up there in that position already. But I don't know. I expect to see him up there at some point this season, though. And then also Sam Basayo, I think is how it's pronounced. I've heard some pronounce it Basalo. I'm going to say Basayo until I hear it otherwise. Also, great baseball player, catcher, first base position, been cranking the ball all spring, pretty much proved himself already. At each level, I believe he's also going to be starting off at AAA. Any thoughts on these guys, Jack, Kobe Mayo, and Basayo?
Yeah, Kobe Mayo. I'm kind of surprised he's not going to be up yet. Like you said, they do have a lot of guys, but I feel like he might be one of the guys that could be in a trade. Either at the deadline or coming up soon. I mean, if they don't really have room for him, which I don't know, maybe they do, maybe they don't. You could see him traded for, possibly a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
Losing Corbin Burns, Kobe Mayo would definitely be a guy that other teams would want.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a weird thing. He's a guy that I would want. I would make room for him. Just seeing if he hits nearly as close as he was down in AAA. He's a complete difference maker for the Orioles. So, hey, I don't know. Let's do this. Let's have the Cardinals trade up, and if we're on a rebuilding stage, I would hate to see Sonny go, but let's maybe trade Sonny away and go ahead and get Kobe and another guy or two over there and call it a deal.
Yeah.
A couple other things I want to mention too. Just a couple free agents that haven't been signed yet, which is still a little surprising to me. One being Lance Lynn. I have heard some Cubs talk with him. And then obviously another ex-Cardinal, Kyle Gibson. He could be a good fit, I think, still for the Yankees or even the Orioles. He could, go back and reunite with them. And I think one of the most surprising is Alex Verdugo. I read yesterday, the day before, that he hasn't even had anybody reach out to him at all. So I'm trying to figure out what it is with Verdugo that these GMs or managers don't like. I know his stats aren't the craziest, but I mean, he's a baseball player, in my opinion. What do you think about any of those guys?
Yeah, like what you're saying with Alex Verdugo. I know last year he didn't have the best year with the Yankees. But if you look at his stats from years before that, he's been a stud. He's had some good years with the Red Sox and a couple good years with the Dodgers. So it's a little surprising now. From what I understand, he hasn't received any major league offers. I don't know if he's received any minor league offers. I'm just not sure. That's probably not what he's wanted to do, if I I imagine. But, if I'm him, I mean, I would at least kind of see you on the minor league deal. If you get an invite to spring training, you play a really good spring. You never know. But at the same time, I'm not sure what he's been offered. I know he hasn't been offered any major league contracts. So he has another guy, Cardinals. Why not?
I mean, I would.
Yeah.
I've always been a Verdugo fan, so he brings, I don't know, some kind of style to the team, and he plays baseball, and maybe he gets on the right organization. The things that he does have issues with can be worked out with that right coach or a teammate or whatever.
Yeah, I agree. And then, excuse me, you said Lance Lynn, right?
Yeah, I've heard some talks with Lance Lynn. Has, I guess, been in talks with the Cubs, which I totally could see that.
Yeah, I thought maybe he did sign with the Cubs already. I could be wrong on that. I thought maybe he already signed a 1-year deal.
Maybe he did.
I'll have to look. Oh yeah, I'll have to look back at that. But for sure, there was talk if he didn't get signed yet. And then
Lance.
you said Kyle
And then,
Gibson.
yeah, and then Gibby. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't believe
Yeah,
he's still out there.
Yeah, I know that one's weird. It's not like he had an amazing season last year, but he had some good starts last year with the Cardinals. So
yeah, and he's an innings eater too. Him and Len,
Yeah.
they'll get you over 150 innings easily. So I don't know. That's they'll go somewhere.
Anything over $1 million, the Cardinals probably aren't going to sign him. So
yeah, and also too, I mean, Cardinals could do anything this season. As of now, it's like, I mean, we obviously didn't sign it really anybody in free agents. I think like 1 or 2 people recently. But if we're in a rebuilding stage and that's what it is, I don't think there's really a need to, as much as I would like to have at least one of them back. Maybe they do, but I'm thinking, and of course, Arenado. I want Arenado to be a Cardinal. And I think he's always wanted to be too. I think it's probably been pretty confusing for him, this last year or two. But if we're in a rebuilding stage, you take those pieces that you have now that are, whether it's age or at the end of their contract, and flip them for these younger prospects or draft picks or something. Got to do something. And that's for every team. Some people just hold on to people for too long or just don't make moves, and that's not going to get you anywhere.
No.
Another couple of highlights I'll throw in there too. Christian Campbell is apparently the favorite at second base, which is pretty big. There's been talks of Marcelo Mayer maybe getting a opening day spot, Roman Anthony. I think they'll probably stay down there a little bit longer. Still thought Marcelo would maybe get a spot. He may, and I'm sure he'll be up there at some point. But Christian Campbell, it's not official yet, but that's pretty cool hearing that he may make opening day roster now. Have you heard anything on that?
Yeah, I did hear that. Was that Alex Cora maybe that said that?
I believe so.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's pretty big. I'm not really surprised because I mean he's been playing really well, and so I guess if whoever hasn't had their fantasy draft yet, I would expect those on Christian Campbell to go up in the bids. So
yeah.
But I'm pretty excited though for him.
Oh yeah. He's about to get drafted a lot. His card value is about to go up a lot. No, he's a fun baseball player. The big three for the Red Sox are just looking filthy. Red Sox in general.
On top of what they already have.
We'll have I know we've been eating up the Red Sox a lot lately, and I'm sure we'll have we'll be talking about them more actually, probably on next episode or something, when we discuss rankings for each division. But a lot of bright future coming up here very soon. Another one of those good prospects, being a Rockies prospect, is Chase Dollander. He was able to fan 7 batters in 3 2/3 scoreless innings for the Rockies yesterday, I believe. What do you think of Chase Dollander? Have you been able to keep up with them? He's MLB's number 25 prospect. It's just, you're a Coors pitcher. You're going to Colorado to pitch, so your home games are just automatically tough, I feel like,
Yeah, so I kind of kept a little bit of tabs on him. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for him too. Like you said, the Coors effect.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, on one side, it's going to be hard to pitch at Coors. You'll probably get your run support from the Rockies, so that is good. So if you're able to pitch well at Coors Field, I think he'll have a really good
Kudos.
shot at getting a lot of wins. Yeah. On the other side, on the road, uh, the Rockies don't always hit the best on the road, so you might have an easier ballpark to pitch in on the road, but you just might not get as much run support. So
And
I'm
they're
not too
starting
worried
to,
about him though.
yeah, and they're starting to build too as a team. They've got some pretty good defensive players in there now, and so maybe once he gets up there,
Yeah.
maybe they'll have a better squad too, and help him out with when it comes to run support. Also, too, since we were talking about free agents, I did want to mention a couple did get signed. I didn't want to skip over that part. Keg Kimbrell and James McCann were both signed by the Braves. So that's pretty cool. I think that's very fitting. Kimbrell being I believe that was his first team, right?
Yep.
So welcome home to him. And then James McCann is just, I remember last season when he took that ball to the face or whatever, and he's out there still playing. Man, I'm glad that he got signed. That's pretty cool. Good moves for the Braves. Definitely helps him out defensively and even with the bat a little bit, and obviously with the bullpen. And then Patrick Corbin was signed to the Rangers. I figured that they would probably sign somebody pretty soon because they've lost so many people already. Jacob deGrom's looking pretty good, so I'm hoping that if we can get 140 innings out of him this season, that would be amazing. Just to see him, get out that much. But any thoughts on these Braves signings or Patrick Corbin to the Rangers?
Yeah, like you said, pretty fitting for the Braves, with Sean Murphy, his injuries. So I think James McCann get a good veteran in there. So I like that move. And Craig Kimbrell, yep, spent 2010 to 2014 with the Braves, and then traded to the Padres after that. And that's some of the best years. I mean, he was with the Braves, so
he's still got a little bit in him
he's back
too.
there. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely no prime Craig Kimbrell, but who knows? He might have a really good season back.
He's fun though to have. I don't know. He just brings. He's one of the, I guess, better to watch closers in our time. I would say he put him in that group of like 20. I would put him in that list. He could be a future Hall of Famer. I don't know. I mean, I know he had a pretty rough last season, but he comes at you and he's just hanging his arm, and I love that, man.
Yeah, I definitely think he makes the Hall of Fame. He's top 10 in saves, I believe, all time. I mean, him and both Kenley Jansen, I think, make the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Some of the most underrated pitchers. They're right around the same in saves, career saves.
Yeah. They both have a very unique pitching formation, which I think is fun to watch. Seems like Kenley takes forever to pitch, but he has had to boost it up a little bit due to the pitch clock. I believe he's with the Angels now. Is that correct?
Yeah, he is.
That'll be interesting.
Yep.
You think Ben Joyce will have that closer role, or Kenley? Kind of bounce back and forth, maybe? I mean...
Yeah, I think they'll kind of see. Obviously, Ben Joyce. I mean, if he can keep his control, if he has that control, I mean, we already have seen what he can do, throwing 105, trying to throw 110 miles an hour. Yeah, I would probably want him as closer. But the experience that Kenley Jansen has, and he actually pitched pretty well last season for the Red Sox. So, I mean, it's definitely not a bad problem for the Angels, having two guys like that both in the bullpen.
No, not at all. They made so many moves this offseason. I don't really know what to expect from them. Let's not forget they still have Mike Trout. So if Mike Trout does have that healthy season, which you never know, and then the rest of their team, Logan O'Hoppe, Zach Neto, who did they just move to center? What's his name? The guy that was supposed to be the next big thing. Out.
Are you talking about Nolan
Joe,
Shonwell?
no, it's
Or
Joe Adell. Joe Adell.
Joe Adell? Yeah. Yep.
He's gonna be out there in center, I think. Yeah, Seanwell. I mean, he was like the youngest player ever to be brought up from the, and they bring up their players fast. That's why I think Christian Moore has a good shot of coming up pretty soon with them too, just because they're known for that. They don't really. It's not that they don't let their players develop. I think they just, when they think somebody's ready and can go up there with the big boys, and they'll bring them up. So, the position that the Angels have been in too in the past, got nothing else to lose. Might as well. Let's see what the young talent does. But and they also got Jorge Soler. So he'll be out there hitting home runs, I'm sure. Whenever I think it'll probably be their steady DH, but.
Yeah, I agree.
What else you got for us, Luke?
Well, I got my crazy MLB stat of the video. You might know this one. It's a Sammy Sosa one.
Sammy.
There are so many of these crazy stats from the steroid era. It is unreal. But if you may or may not know, Sammy Sosa is the only player in Major League history to hit 60 home runs in 3 different seasons. Now, what's also crazy about that is in those 3 seasons, he didn't lead the league in home runs in any of those 3 seasons, though. Which is
that's
insane.
I'm sure it probably eats him up every now and then. But at the same time, I don't know. That's who are the ones above him, McGuire and Bonds, or
yeah.
Or do you know? Yeah, because I know. Yeah, that was what a fun era. Did the steroid era save baseball? Some say.
Yeah, that whole 94 strike thing, ripped to the Expos, but
I have a lot of Mark McGuire memorabilia. If you could see this bat behind me, that's a Mark McGuire bat. I got another little Mark McGuire bat over here.
Yeah, I got one myself.
St. Louis, man, we were so big on Mark McGuire. Yeah, I'm sure you got Mark McGuire stuff. Even Troy, he's giving me Mark McGuire baseball. I think a rookie card and a ball. Mark McGuire is the man. Big Mac land. He used to just cranking him up there all the time. But that's a cool stat. Sammy Sosa. I miss those days. I do hope to see Sammy Sosa back up with the Cubs throughout the season. I think that'd be pretty cool. Haven't heard too much about it since seeing him talk to those prospects and other younger players recently, but I think it was that he did take some type of position, right?
Yeah, I have to look back and see exactly what it was, but some sort of coach. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right on. Well, I say next time we'll get together our stats for who we think is going to be on top for each division. I think some of mine might surprise some people, but hey, we'll see if it pays off. I got some high hopes for some of these teams out here. I think prospects are going to have a big part to play in it too. So I'm a prospect guy. I'm gonna be talking about prospects all year long. So some people don't buy into the prospect hype, but I'm all about it.
It's fun.
You got there for a reason. Yeah, for sure. Well, you got anything else for us, Luke?
No, I don't. If you don't have anything else, then Want to thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of 643 Talk. I'm Luke, and that's my brother Vinny.
Yo, shut it down.
Peace. Thank you, everyone.
Yep, thank you.
I keep boy by my side. CJ Ike, never got a roll with ice. Generations caught up. Look how things will switch. People they're quick. Now they wanna move at the bits. Boy wanna throw